Hello guys, welcome back to Study with Julia. Today I kind of wanted to talk about a topic that's been very important for me recently, and that is saving money, because I'm planning on going to university next year, moving out, and I want to have financial freedom, which is obviously going to be very hard on a student loan. So I've kind of tried to start preparing as much as possible for it. I don't think it's, in my current situation, possible to, be fully prepared. These are some of the things that I've been doing, and I think it's really important to emphasize that I am by no means perfect with money. Far from it. But these are just things that help me feel more in control with my spendings. So I think the first key thing for me is my income sources. So I'm technically kind of working two jobs. So one, I'm just kind of helping out my brother in his company. And then my other job is I do tuition, just locally tutoring secondary school aged children. So because of that, I work roughly, not a lot really, 3 to 4 hours a week. But I try to make the most out of it. So the job for my brother, any money I get from that, I treat that as living money. And then for my tuition, I treat 50% of whatever I earn as living money. Everything else goes into savings. So 50% off of what I earn there, for example, just goes into my little savings jar. Obviously, I really like the fact that I have a job because I do get that money. And I think I am learning lots of very important things right now from, having to go to work, having that commitment. But it's definitely been hard trying to juggle that with studies. So I always do my best to try and work around my working hours. It's quite obvious that I've had to sacrifice some time from my time. So less Netflix binge sessions and social media scrolls, all the things like that. So my savings fund is essentially a dreams fund. So for me, a dream purchase goes to one of three things: traveling, concerts, and my future. So things like university, forming me as a person. And in all fairness, I think travel kind of falls under that umbrella too. But it's one thing that I like to keep at the forefront of my mind more, per se. And I always try to group things into dreams. So these are things that I can buy if I have a sufficient enough amount in savings. And that doesn't mean, I have just the perfect amount in savings, I'm buying it. That means at least twice what the thing is worth. Depends, obviously, but I don't want to spend all my savings on one thing. I still want to have some freedom and some spare money left there just in case. And then I also have my wants. These things, I'll go into that a bit later. Wants, they can be a bit iffy. And then needs, which are things like for school, or like say I don't have any shorts, I need a pair of shorts because summer's coming up, like things that I actually need. So one thing that I've stopped myself from buying recently was a Zayn Malik cooking apron. Before you ask me why would I even want that, it's Zayn Malik. I love cooking. I was like, in uni, I can wear that while I cook so I don't get my clothes dirty. But then I thought, let me save that money. Because what if he goes on tour again soon? Or maybe if one day I'm in uni and I'm not feeling well, or I'm down the dumps, or I have a lot of work, I'll spend that £20 on just ordering some food in. Or something like that. That maybe that's not the best example. But essentially I'm saying, I have an apron. Okay, it doesn't have to be perfect. It just has to work. It just has to protect my clothes. I have an old one in my wardrobe back there. It's fine, Sometimes I need to look at things and be able to categorize them with a clear head. Sometimes I like to take a night to make sure that I've put things in the right category. Usually it's if something's in a dream or a need, and then I think about it and I'm like, it's not really going to fulfill any of my dreams. And I don't really need it, so actually it's a 1, so I can wait it out a bit. Also, I'm not actually sure about other banking apps, but my app has you can set limits, or not necessarily limits, but like goals of how much you want to spend. So for example, I have a limit on entertainment that I don't want to spend more than a certain amount each month, I think it is. And it's very good because sometimes throughout the month I'll get a notification and it'll tell me like, oh, you're 50% through your budget, or you've actually fulfilled your budget for this month already. And I think that's very good for me, you know, to keep an eye on that, because even if I'm not necessarily actively checking my budgets, the app is sending me a notification, so I still have that somewhere at the back of my mind. And to be fair, I'm still trying to build that in as a habit. Like, I don't know, checking my budget once a week. I don't think I spend that much money, but in reality, once I actually check, I do need to check more often than I thought originally. I wish the app had like more specific kind of classifications of things, because it automatically divides everything that you buy. I wish I was able to kind of put things into my own little categories. For example, if I spend money on a birthday present, I don't want that to count towards like entertainment or shopping or things like that, because, you know, that's not for me. So I just want to keep that in a separate folder or category, I guess. Okay, this is what I do with my wants rather than my needs or my dreams. My think twice rule. For anything that I put in my wants, as I've said before, you know, I take a night to just make sure that everything's in the right place. And also if something's in my wants, even, you know, maybe it is a need, so sometimes that's still necessary. But I think once, ask myself once, and if I still want something, ask myself twice, but I just pretend I'm my mum, because I feel like my mum tries to teach me good money habits, and she's always the type of person to be like, okay, that's great, but do you need this? You know, is this a wise way to spend your money? I also have things like leaving items in my cart overnight if it's online shopping, because sometimes like they give me notifications and they're like, oh, do you want to buy this? Chances are, if I forget it was in the cart, then I didn't want it that much anyway. If the notification is the thing that reminds me, maybe I shouldn't be buying it. And also, I try not to look at how, for example, if I'm out with friends, try not to look at how they spend their money, because everyone's in different financial position. Maybe, you know, if they're like buying food or something, or like clothes, I need to think, you know, am I actually hungry right now? Is there any point? Because chances are I bring this food home, it'll go a bit soggy, it'll go a bit stale, I won't eat it. I try not to get peer pressured like that. Obviously they're not doing it intentionally. I just try to be my own person when I'm out shopping. Also, my thing is, I don't know why, but I love notes. So I do everything to just spend the coins, because I don't like really have a precise number of how many coins I have. And Loki, because of that, I feel like I don't spend my money that's in notes. I don't really know how that works. Another small habit is I get like bank statements every month. I check them all through. Then I have make a little mental log of like, oh, spent a bit too much doing this, or, you know, I bought this last week and I haven't even used it yet. So I try to bring that lesson with me to the next month. And also comparing prices is a big thing, but I have noticed if I'm buying something for myself, I will compare the price. But if I'm buying like a present, or for some reason I feel like, oh, it's more expensive, so I'm gonna get this, but it's like the exact same thing, just at a different price. So that's still something I need to actually like check prices on everything, like comparing every price I see. that's something that I still need to adopt in my life. I do have a couple of impulse buys that I guess taught me a lesson. Every time I'm out and about, I like want to buy something, or like I'm not like massive into skincare. I wash my face, moisturize, that's about it. But there's been a couple of times where I like went out and bought these, like, I don't even know what they were, like a high, it wasn't even moisturizing, it was a hydrating spray or something like that. And I don't think I ever used it. I think I just gave it to my sister. I think I was even like allergic to it. So from then on, I've tried to, you know, put in the rules, as I've said, asking myself twice if this is even a good product. Because sometimes also, I think it's better to pay a little bit more for a good quality product rather than less for a bad quality product. Because it's also like price per use, you know? Or like, because if you wear something or like use something a lot but it's expensive, it kind of balances out the cost. But obviously in very specific cases, you know, not for everything, you don't need the best thing. That's not what I'm saying at all. But yeah, as I've said, I think it's hard sometimes when friends are like always going out or spending money freely, you know, seeing Instagram, that's a dangerous place. But it's not necessarily having the mindset of, oh, I can't afford it now, it doesn't fit my budget. It's having the mindset of, oh, you know, I don't really need this because I'm saving for something bigger and better. I don't want this right now so that I can get that in the future. And I think it's also important to be able to say no to buying something without any guilt. Because remember, if they, like, as I've said, if this is something you really like do need, or if it's like a dream of yours, buy it, you know. What if it's like a one in a lifetime opportunity, get it. But before you do, decide whether it truly is all I'm saying. So my goals and why I'm doing this, obviously, I want to move out for university. I want to be able to, I don't think it'll be possible for me to live quite like I'm living at home, you know, home cooked meals without me having to do anything. But I want to be as close as possible in the situation that I'll be in. That's kind of the short term. Long term, I just want to build good money habits, and when I have a family, or, you know, when I'm just older, go on nice holidays, have fun at like festivals, you know, want to make the most of life. But if there's any parting words that I would leave you guys with, I'd say you don't need a lot of money to start budgeting. You literally just need the intention, because the best time to start budgeting was yesterday, second best time is today. So as long as you have that will, go for it. Literally even saving £1 a week really adds up over time. So really like adjust to yourself, to your earnings, you know, things like that. And remember to keep some living money. Don't put everything into savings. You're still meant to have some fun. But also don't compare your journey to anyone else's. You're doing great. As I've said, money is a very individual thing. So, you know, as long as you know that you're really doing your best and you're still enjoying life, but you are cutting back on useless purchases, then you're really doing amazing. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you did enjoy this, please remember to like, comment. If you could subscribe, I'd be very grateful. If you're also hoping to go to uni soon, then I have a video here on any interviews for med school, but also most healthcare courses. If this is something that is coming up for you, I think it could be quite useful. But on that note, I'll see you guys very, very soon. Bye-bye.